Iraola gets the Spurs job and he gets Tottenham top 4, we win something under him, this brother can go to Real Madrid next. No. Under Leicester, he started off really well, and then he faded. Under Chelsea, he started off well and he faded. And Charlie, I mean, you're not as shameless as that guy we were dealing with yesterday.
He's shameless, mate.
But you're not far off.
Shameless, no.
Because you're here talking about being in the top 4. Just about. You are literally 2 points ahead of Newcastle, 3 points ahead of Bournemouth. For me personally, you won't be getting top 4.
I agree.
People have given you the Europa Conference League. I think you're dusty. I don't actually think you'll win that competition. And I think it's very, what I can't stand from an entitled fan base, because that's what you are. You're an entitled fan base, the Richie Riches of this world, is you can still come on here shaking your bum violently. Oh, we ain't got a striker after you spent 1.5 billion. Then your whole club's a mess. What are you doing?
I agree.
It's rubbish. But for me, you should be demanding standards. I've got Chelsea fans telling me they can still win a title this season. And I said, what's the title? They were in the Europa Conference League. A competition that we were happy to relieve ourselves of. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have literally fallen from grace. So, look, Charlie, why don't you do us all a favor? There is only one team on this panel that you're finishing above this season, and that's unfortunately my club. I can take that L, but I don't think you finish above any of these other teams.
We're not finishing above Brighton.
Oh, just beat you, mate. We'll beat you on Friday, and then we'll call it a day.
I think Brighton slap you again. I think
there's a good chance. There's a good chance they could.
I'm going to come to you, just on who you think may well win the FA Cup now with the teams that are in it. I know you've given a little promotion there to Forest, but I want to get your opinions on the game at Villa Park before then I come to Rich, because it looked bad. It looked really, really bad. It looked disjointed. You had players that were just all over the place. The defending for some of the goals were shocking. But we'll start with the game first, actually, and then we'll come to who you think might win the FA Cup. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, look, I think it's fair to say that Tottenham are in a really bad mess. I'm publicly putting myself out there for the next manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the thing is, I'm actually willing to do the job for free, or at least on a pay-as-you-go basis. So if I draw or lose a game, I'm not expecting to be paid a single British pound. But if I win, then I am expecting some remuneration for that. So yeah, look, I'll be honest with you, mate. I can't lie to you. This has been absolutely one of the toughest seasons I've ever experienced as a Spurs fan. The first thing is, Postecoglou does have a point. There's no way after I speak that Rich will stand up, start smiling, pump his chest, and say how Villa were just this amazing, sexy team. The truth is, they played Tottenham's under-21s, and they had their full strength team out pretty much. And that's what it's been. I'm not making excuses for our bench or for the lineup. It is what it is. I just feel that we could have I just feel that Postecoglou could have managed the team better on the day, and he could have managed it better so that we would have had more players at our disposal. The truth of the matter is, whether you play under 21s, whether you play under 15s, I want to see some fight. We had no fight against Liverpool. We somehow had, we went up with a whimper, really, against Villa. We were never really in the contest. And that's why I've been saying Ange has to leave. What so happened is that Tottenham fans have been so battered that they actually want this brother to stay to the end of the season. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You were the same fan base that wanted Nuno gone. You were the same fan base that after a Champions League final, we had a rough 3 months. You wanted Poch gone, and all of a sudden, you want Ange in. Now, Pete, the truth of the matter is, Ange is a gambler. His favorite movie was Casino Royale. Do you know what I mean? He plays that movie on repeat. He is Russian roulette football. Russian roulette, you're gonna lose more times than you win. That is what gambling is, and that's how Spurs play football. So against Villa, I can't say I was that impressed, but when you're playing Archie Gray out of position, I mean, I can't tell you if Archie Gray is a really good player. He's out of position. When you're playing Mikey Moore, 17, Archie Gray, 18, Bergval, 18, Tell, 19, Kingsky, bloody hell. He had one good game. His first game was literally his best game. Ever since that game, he's gone from Kingsky to dodgy. That's what he is. He should be called dodgy. Dodgy keeper. It's mad. So Tottenham is a hot mess. I blame content creators. So I am blaming the loaded mag for part of it because of all the
It's our fault.
Yeah, Daniel Levy had to take you guys abusing him for sacking Mourinho, before the Carabao Cup final a number of years ago. And so I decided that until we are officially out of all three competitions, this guy stays in the job. What a madman! And then I think Tottenham fans, they say that I have too much focus on the Red Tottenham, the Spicy Spurs, Scotch Bonnet FC, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't give a damn about them. But the truth is, I think Tottenham, deep down, is hoping that Postecoglou does an Arteta. Arteta finished 8th and then all of a sudden, the rest is history. I think they think, let's hold on to this guy and maybe we shoot up the table and the rest is history. The question I pose to the Spurs fan base is, what happens if we don't go up? What happens if we go down? And I'm not so entitled to believe that Spurs will stay up this season. A lot of people say, oh, Deji, but you're having a huff and puff. We know that it takes 40 points to stay in the Prem. I can only see Tottenham getting 3 more points between now and the end of the season. And that 3 points is against United this weekend, aka Piccadilly. And that's the game I've decided to go to witness Tottenham's last win of the season this Sunday. So where are we going here? And I think Daniel Levy has made a big gamble, and I think it's a risk too far. And we are in a mess. And kudos to Villa. If we were playing a depleted Villa team, I wouldn't be shaking my bum here. I would have said it was light work. Our full strength team whacked them 4-1. And Liverpool is one of the most disgraceful teams I've seen in my life. Because in order to knock Spurs out of the Carabao Cup, they went out with a whimper against one of the worst teams in League One, Plymouth. So make that make sense. I was Ange in. If you see me at the beginning of the season, I was in favour of Ange. I love the ball. I still prefer the football in terms of being on the front foot rather than having Conte or Mourinho ball. But what I can't legislate for is his mismanagement of the squad. And I'll give you a prime example quickly. He refused to play Jed Spence.
Oh, that's crazy. He's the best player.
He's doing well.
And then the wing back Udogie gets injured. Then he plays Jed Spence. Then Jed Spence, it seems like he's better than Porro and Udogie combined. Then you're thinking, so why didn't you play him earlier? What are you looking at in training? Then he'll do this thing where it's like, I don't want to rush the players back. Why are you rushing them back? The Chelsea game is a game we always lose. Granted, let's say you always lose to a certain team. Why would you rush back your centre-backs for one game? Rushes Romero and Van de Ven back in the same game. They last 20 minutes and they leave and we don't see them again. Like, hello? If they needed 2 more weeks, give them 2. I'd rather we lose 2 more games than to now lose them completely and we're in the run of the mess that we are in. Also, against Villa on the weekend, why did you start with Son? Like, why? He's been rubbish all season. Some say it's because he's tired. Some say he's lost it. Whichever, he's just not the guy right now. Don't play him. You've played him. Do you know what I mean? Archie Gray has played 95 different positions this weekend. For Spurs in general. Why is he now? I forgot what position. Was it right? Was it left? Was he right back? He was right.
Was it him and Danso at centre back?
Or him and it's too much. It's too. What has poor Archie Gray learned this season?
This is the thing. There has to be actual centre backs in the under 23s that you could put in at centre back rather than playing an 18-year-old who doesn't play there.
It's crazy. So he's learnt nothing this whole season. I think he needs to go. I think under Iraola or somebody else, they will get it. And I think I get it. I actually get Ange Ball. Ange Ball is the perfect system when you're playing in leagues that are not great. When you're playing in leagues where there's only 2 teams, look, Ange Ball would work with Real Madrid. I swear down, he would win the Liga with them. He would even win the French league with PSG. You know, one-horse races, but not the Prem. The Prem is too strong. The managers are too smart. Look what Eddie Howe did. Bravo. When I looked at that line, sorry to just let you know, this is a Newcastle channel, so it'd be remiss of me not to give Newcastle some props. When he put Lewis Hall in that midfield, I was like, what's he doing? This is a left back. Played midfield. It worked a bloody treat. I sit here and I wonder, Eddie Howe, if Tottenham had Eddie Howe, mate, we would be somewhere. Like,
let's not forget.
He's not given enough respect. Eddie Howe is a tactician. Do you really think Iraola gives a damn about Bournemouth? No disrespect to Bournemouth. I'm just being real. He's not going to stay at Bournemouth, even if he got Champions League with them. Why would he? Because he's not going to have the resources to do anything meaningful with that club. He did this at Rayo Vallecano. So that means Tottenham can pay the 2-3 million fine or whatever, release the contract, get him in now. We can do an Amarin, what United did with Amarin, get him in now. Waiting to the end of the season, I think we could be waiting for Iraola in the Championship. And that's my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear. I don't think Levy appreciates the mess we're in. And I think there's too much entitlement in the Spurs fan base. Spurs, I can only see 3 points between now and the end of the season. That means we're down.
So you'd rather this with Ange for the end of the season?
I don't know this thing about Thomas Frank and this crap. The person that we need, you got to look at the success. We were successful under Pochettino. Granted, we didn't win any trophies. People will lambast me on that. But the truth is, we became a respectable club under Poch. Someone who was able to work within the fabric that is Daniel Levy. There's only one manager that I see in the league that can work within this chaos, and that's Iraola. This bollocks that Iraola wouldn't come to Spurs is a load of hogwash. You've been offered the opportunity. He was at Rayo Vallecano, did this sort of job. He's at Bournemouth. Are you telling me that this brother doesn't want to show the world that he's legit? Look how Tottenham literally changed Pochettino's life. Yeah? He was at Southampton before us. All of a sudden, he became one of the top managers in the world. Iraola, if Tottenham say come now, he comes. Do you think he even comes if Bournemouth make Champions League? He'll still leave. You know what I'm saying? Because he's looking long term. Yes, we got Champions League, but we ain't got the resources.
Do you actually believe that, Deji?
Huh?
Do you actually believe
Iraola will come in a heartbeat, bro. It's the media that keeps saying he won't come. Why would he come? Why not?
I generally don't think he will come. I know money talks, but let's be honest.
Of course it is.
All these
money and rep. If Iraola gets the Spurs job and he gets Tottenham top 4, we win something under him, this brother can go to Real Madrid next. You got to look at the trajectory, bro.